Hey, church, and welcome to this week's series for our prayer and fasting. The idea of this series is to give us all a weekly devotional of stuff that we can pray together, engage together as a church to come closer to God for this week. It's an opportunity to stimulate and to be aligned with one another in our prayer and fasting. So each day we're going to be releasing a devotional for you all for the prayer and fasting, something to pray on, something to talk about, something for you to reflect on each and every day of the fast. And of course, then the idea is that as we go into this, we can also then recap together of what the Lord said to us. Now, as I say, this week is really a week of drawing close. It's a week of abstinence. When we fast, we are abstaining from something to get closer to God. We are saying, Lord, I love you more than this, than food, than news, whatever it is. You can see on our website, of course, the various different fasts. But the point of the fast is you are increasing your abstinence from your normal level to get closer to God. Now, of course, there are two sides to prayer and fasting. You have the prayer and fasting, which is getting closer to God, and also the fasting that we see in the New Testament that is to see God move. Now, we, of course, as a church, we want to see God move. We want a building. So this is one part of it. We want to see God move and to bring things to pass. But the other side of fasting is we just want to get closer to God and align with Him. Now, I believe this latter one is more important. Of course, we want to see God move. Of course, we want to see power, sign, wonders, things change. But all of that means nothing if we are not aligned with God and close to Him. He says in Matthew 7 that, "Depart from me, I never knew you." He speaks to people who say, "I did works in your name, and I said this, I did that," but there was no relationship. And so fasting without relationship is nothing. It is just going hungry. If we don't take time for Him and don't build our relationship with Him, we waste our time. So I really want to encourage you all in this week, let's spend this time in relationship with God, with Jesus, spending time with Him, getting to know Him better and align with Him. When I really believe for this week, the verse for this week is Matthew 11:28-30. "Come to me, all who are labor and who are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, and I am gentle and lowly in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy, my burden is light." That's a wonderful verse. And often this verse is used for legalism. It's used to say Jesus is not legalistic. Jesus is light. His yoke is easy, his burden's light. But that's not what Jesus is talking about. Actually, in the very next chapter, Matthew goes on to talk about Jesus being Lord of the Sabbath. And if you watch our series on the Sabbath, you'll hear me talk about this, where Jesus says, my yoke is easy, my burden is light. Come to me and find Sabbath in me, rest in me, peace and order in me. And so this today, as we walk into the fast, this is the day about getting our focus right. This is the day about aligning and getting close to God. Taking that time each and every day when we abstain from something to draw near to the Father, to get close to Him, to invite Him in and say, Lord, your will be done. Speak to me. Show me what you're doing. Show me what you're busy with. To open ourselves outside of ourselves to Him. To take the focus away from us and to put it on Him. That's the most important part. Because so often fasting becomes about me, what I'm fasting, what I'm doing, and that defeats the whole point. I already had this leading recently that anything that gets glory from man removes glory from God. So this fasting, don't let it be you-centered. Don't let it be an opportunity for the glory to be taken away. This isn't about what fast I'm doing or what fast you're doing. It's not a competition. There's no better, or the water fast is not better or more holy than a news fast. The best fast is a fast that aligns with God and sees Him move and draws you closer in relationship with Him. So as we go through these days, take this opportunity. And I really want to challenge you this week. Can you find Sabbath in Jesus? Now, what does that really mean? You'll see, can you stop? Can you rest? Can you abstain from all things and be at peace in Him? even when you're hungry, even when you're tired, even when you just want to eat or do something that you're abstaining for? Can Jesus be that rock? Can Jesus be that sustenance? Can Jesus be that provider that he promises to be? Because that's what it is to Sabbath. God stopped, but he was the sustainer and provider of creation. So our goal this week is to Sabbath in him in fasting, Sabbath in him in abstaining, and Sabbath in him by praying. Jesus says, my yoke is easy, my burden is light. Come and experience my Sabbath. That's this week. So as we go through each day, I'm going to encourage you to take some time each and every day to stop. Can you, when you stop, be free from burden, free from anxiety, free from shame or guilt or the need to prove yourself or to be busy with something? If not, well, like me, we need to practice more Sabbath. We need to experience more of the Sabbath and be able to be at peace in all situations as Jesus calls us to be. Because that's how he was. He was this restful, peaceful person. So that's our challenge. That's our practice for the week as a church, is to release the yoke and burden and to find the Sabbath rest that Jesus provides. And we're going to enjoy that together when we do the table on the 18th to experience the Sabbath rest and also feasting together for the Feast of Sukkot. So anyway, that's enough from me. I hope this was enough to get you going. Let's take this time. Let's seek him, align with him. And I hope you guys have a great fast and you experience more of God. And I'll see you all tomorrow, whoever's doing tomorrow's devotion, for more. So God bless. Have a great week. And that's from me.